The rain started just after midnight. A man walked into an old diner he hadn't seen in years and took a seat by the window. He thought he was only stopping for a cup of coffee. He didn't know the night was about to bring back everything he thought he'd left behind.
Rain was falling on the neon sign, just like it did back in '99. The coffee tasted just the same, but nobody here remembered my name. I took a seat by the window pane, where she'd watch the passing train. Used to say she'd leave this town before it ever dragged her down. I'm sitting in the booth by the window, looking at a road I should have followed. Every raindrop on the glass tonight feels like another goodbye. The years keep moving, but some things never go. I'm still sitting in the booth by the window, waiting for a goal. The waitress smiled and poured my cup, asked me if I was just passing through. I almost laughed, I almost lied, said I was looking for somebody I knew. There's a photograph on the far back wall, faces frozen in another time, and there she is beside the jukebox like she never left my mind. I'm sitting in the booth by the wind, looking at a road I should have followed. Every raindrop on the glass tonight feels like another goodbye. The years keep moving, but some things never go. I'm still sitting in the booth by the window, waiting for a goal. Maybe she made it to California, maybe she never got that far. Maybe she's happy somewhere tonight, or maybe she's staring at the same star. Maybe that's the hardest thing, not knowing how the story ends.
The photograph looked familiar, not because of the place, because of the smile.
Could have been, I'm sitting then from years gone back, faded colors, watching headlights come and go, but I still see her. Everybody's heading somewhere. The waitress asked me yesterday, while I'm buried in the who's the girl you hide away? The coffee smiled and said that's history. They're closing up the floor, but I'll sit here 1 minute longer. She's a girl in the Polaroid, still sitting somewhere back in time, still 22 beneath the station lights, still standing there in my mind. World moved on and changed its fate. The years roll by like a river, but every time I look at her, I'm right back where I let go. There was laughter in that summer air, dusty roads and county fair. She'd steal my jacket when nights got cold, back when growing old felt old. Now the picture's cracked in two, just like all the plans we drew. Funny how a little square of paper can outlive the truth. Oh, she's a girl in the Polaroid, frozen somewhere back in time, still 22 beneath the station light, still standing there in my mind. The world moved on and changed its fate. The years roll by like rivers flow, but every time I look at her, I'm right back where I let her go. Sometimes I wonder who she became, if she still laughs the same way, if she ever thinks about that time, or if those memories faded away. Take 100 faces came and went, but hers is the one that stayed. The coffee cools, the neon glows, outside the rain falls soft and slow, and every Friday night she's here. The girl in the Polaroid, the picture back it goes, into the pocket of my coat, close enough to touch again, far enough to be a ghost.
Back of the picture was a date. August, the month she was supposed to come home.
It was August when the fields turned gold, when we still thought we were too young to grow. Windows down on a county road, laughing like we had somewhere to go. The radio played those summer songs, the kind that make you think nothing goes wrong. She drew our names in the dust on the dash, said, promise me this won't be our last. But August never came back. It left with the sound of that midnight train, one last kiss beneath the station lights, one last smile through the pouring rain. She said, give me time, I'll find my way. I believed every word she said, but August never came back, and neither did she. I remember the suitcase by her feet, the way she couldn't quite look at me, like she already knew something I didn't, like goodbye had already been written. The train rolled in with a whistle cry, steam rising into the summer sky. I held her hand until the last second passed, never knowing it would be the last. But August never came back. left with the sound of that midnight train. One last kiss beneath the station lights, one last smile through the pouring rain. She said, give me time, I'll find my way. I believed every word she said, but August never came back, and neither did she. Now every year when summer fades, the air still carries her name. And every storm that rolls through town feels a little bit the same. Because August never came back. The leaves kept falling year by year. The station stayed, the tracks remained, but she was never standing here. And somewhere out beyond this town, maybe she found what she was chasing. But August never came back, and I'm still here waiting. The train still passes every night, its whistle fading into the dark. And every time it disappears, it takes me back to August.
Years passed, but some conversations never stop repeating themselves inside your head.
There's a box up in the attic, covered by years of dust, full of words I never made, full of hope I couldn't trust. Every envelope's got your name, every page begins the same. Hope you're doing fine these days. Then my courage fades away. These are letters never sent, conversations that never happened, 1,000 nights spent talking to paper while the years kept passing. I told you things I never said, wrote the tears I never cried, built a bridge from ink and memories, but never crossed the other side. One was written when Dad passed on, one when the old diner changed hands, one when I thought I'd finally moved on. Funny how that never happened. Some are stained from coffee rings, some from whiskey after midnight, some just end in half a sentence like I ran out of reasons to write. These are letters never sent, conversations that never happened, 1,000 nights spent talking to paper while the years kept passing. I told you things I never said, wrote the tears I never cried, built a bridge for making memories, but never crossed the other side. Baby, you would have answered. Maybe you would have called. Maybe you forgot me years ago. Maybe you remember it all. The truth is sitting in that box, sealed away where nobody sees. Not by a distance, not by time, but by fear. And what if? By invisible cages. Now the ink is fading slowly, just like photographs in paint. But every letter in that attic still whispers your name. The rain taps softly on the roof.
The station hadn't changed much. Same tracks, same platform, same feeling in his chest.
Every Friday after closing, I leave $1 by the cup, pull my coat around my shoulders, and head down toward the tracks. The station hasn't changed much. Same cracked concrete, same old lights, just a little more rust every year, a little less light. In the train at 11:42, still rolls through this town, same whistle cutting through the dark, same still singing its song. 20 years I've watched it stop, 20 years I've watched it go. Half believing you'll step off someday. I've seen soldiers come home, seen strangers carrying flowers, seen tired men and young lovers passing through all these hours. Faces blur together now, names disappear like smoke, but every time those doors slide open, my heart still plays a joke. And the train at 11:42 still rolls through this town, Same whistle cutting through the dark, same still singing his song. For 20 years I've watched it stop, for 20 years I watched it go. Half believing you'll step off someday, though I already know. The station master retired years ago, the newsstand finally closed. Kids who used to ride their bikes here, children of their own. Time kept moving down the line, just like every train I've seen. Only one thing stayed behind, and that one thing was me. Red lights fading in the distance, like they've done before. I watch until the darkness swallows every last trace of hope. Then I turn back toward the diner and walk that road alone. Whoa. Whistle echoes through the night and finally disappears, leaving only rain and all these years.
For a second, he thought he saw her, but it was only someone sitting where she used to sit.
Friday night just after 8, I walked in through the diner door, shook the rain from on my coat like I'd done 1,000 times. Something felt a little different, something caught me by surprise. There was a stranger by the window, sitting where she'd always sat in my mind. Somebody took her seat tonight, the booth I'd guarded all these years. A young couple sharing coffee, laughing loud enough to hear. For a second I felt angry, like they'd stolen something from me. Then I realized they were making memories, the same way we used to be. The waitress looked across the room, waiting for me to complain. Instead I smiled and took a table, near the jukebox by the rain. Funny how a place can change the moment you stop holding on. The booth was never really hers, it was just where life moved on. Somebody took her seat tonight, and the world didn't fall apart. No thunder from the heavens, no breaking of my heart. Just two people chasing dreams like we once did long ago. And for the first time in forever, I let the memory go. Maybe love was never meant to stay frozen in one place. Maybe holding on too tightly only kept me standing still. The rain outside kept falling, the clock kept moving on. Somehow in that crowded room, the loneliness was gone. Somebody took her seat tonight, and I think that's alright, because the story didn't end there. It just became someone else's night. I raised my cup and wished them well, and watched the neon softly glow. And for the first time in 20 years, stop waiting at the door. The waitress brought my coffee, smiled like she somehow knew. Sometimes healing starts, someone takes a seat meant for you. The rain was falling like it always did, soft against the diner glass, neon colors dancing on the floor like ghosts from a different past. The waitress poured my usual cup, then asked if I needed more. I looked around that little room and shook my head for the first time before. This is my last coffee before closing, my last Friday waiting by the door. No grand goodbye, no final speech, just a man who doesn't need it anymore. The years were kind and cruel at once, they gave and took their share from me. But tonight I finally understand, some roads end where they're meant to be. pocket, but I didn't take it out. Some memories don't disappear, they just stop running your life around. Outside the station, lights were glowing. The train would pass before too long. For once I didn't feel the need to stay and hear its lonely song. This is my last coffee before closing, my last Friday watching the rain. Not because I stopped loving her, but because I stopped living in yesterday. The town is still the town I knew. The diner's still the same old place. But something changed inside of me. The diner's still the same old place. But something changed inside of me. Something time could not erase. Maybe she's happy somewhere. Maybe she thinks of me sometime. Maybe the answers never matter. Maybe peace is leaving questions behind. The waitress turned the sign to close and dim the neon one last time. I stood up slow and grabbed my coat and stepped back into life. This is my last coffee before closing, and the first night of something new. The road outside is wet and shining, waiting for me to drive it through. The girl in the Polaroid still smiles. August still lives inside my heart. But tonight I'll leave those memories here and let tomorrow start. As I walked out through the rain, the train rolled through at 11:42, but I didn't turn around again. Just headlights stretching down the road, and the sky beginning to clear for the first time in 20 years.
The rain was getting heavier outside. Closing time was getting closer, and there wasn't much left to say.